Hi everybody, Dana Sparks, broker of Maximum One Greater Atlanta Realtors, and today I want to talk to you guys about what you see in an MLS service and how that translates to a purchase and sale agreement. So basically, what you see in an MLS service, FMLS, Georgia MLS, whatever MLS you subscribe to in Georgia, wherever you are practicing real estate, you need to think of that as marketing and advertising. What do I mean by that, and how does that have to interact with a contract? Well, an MLS service is typically a membership driven service. So, what does that mean? That means that a broker belongs to an MLS service, and thereby agents in that brokerage, when there is an exclusive listing agreement signed, enter that listing into that MLS service, and all other members, broker members, and affiliated licensees of that MLS service have access to that information. That is information shared above and beyond what the public can see on a public website or so forth and so on. In other words, it has tax information readily accessible. It has uh, uh, listing brokerage information accessible. It has listing agent information readily available. There's other information shared. There's private remarks. There's other information shared in an MLS listing that is for the benefit of other MLS members. And there is a duty to cooperate among MLS members, and that has to do with the co-op commission that is marketed in an MLS system. I'm going to do a whole another video on co-op commission, but for the purposes of this video, there is a co-op commission. So a buyer, a broker representing a buyer can have a reasonable expectation of what type of commission they will get if they are the procuring cause of sale for their buyer to get a contract to sell that house. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that. But basically speaking, there is co-op commission advertised in FMLS, Georgia MLS, other MLS services, as well as other information, including things such as property being sold as is, or seller to offer a home warranty at closing, 1-year home warranty at closing, so forth and so on. The point of today's video is to let you know that all of that is information shared to help broker members and affiliated licensee members share that information in order that they may serve their clients and customers better and have full information when helping the public buy and sell, rent real property, lease and rent real property. However, that information is marketing and advertising and does not necessarily translate into a purchase and sale agreement. What do I mean? Specifically, if there is a listing and you have a buyer who wants to buy the property and you pull it up on an MLS service and it says seller to pay for a 1-year home warranty at closing for the buyer. Just because that is marketed in an MLS service does not necessarily mean that that is the case if it is not in the contract. So you buyer's agents, if you see a seller marketing something that they are willing to do for a buyer in MLS, you need to put that in the contract. It doesn't, again, the MLS system and service is for broker members to share information. It's not signed by the buyer and the seller. Nothing is binding upon the buyer and the seller unless it is in a purchase and sale agreement signed by the buyer and the seller or an amendment thereto. So again, for example, if you see a listing where the seller is offering a warranty for the buyer, you buyer's agents, you need to put it in the contract or it doesn't exist. And if you've been in any of my classes or other instructors' classes, you will often hear the phrase, if it is not in writing, it does not exist. It must be in writing, so it must be in the contract. Same thing is true if there are any warranties that transfer. If There are termite bonds that transfer. Just because it's listed and the seller is marketing themselves that way doesn't automatically translate to a contract if the buyer and seller don't sign for it, agree to it. Some of the warranties that transfer, some leases that transfer, there might be a buyer cost associated with it, and your buyers might not want to take on that additional cost with the transfer of a warranty. Likewise with co-op commission. Again, that's a little bit separate topic, and I am going to do a whole nother longer video on that. But for co-op commission, do not rely on the co-op commission that is marketed in FMLS and Georgia MLS. There are also typographical errors that can happen, and it can be written in there wrong. So you agents, you buyer's agents, you need to have co-op commission instructions signed, whether that be co-op commission instructions to be used prior to showing or instructions to closing attorney. You guys need to get it in writing between the listing broker, the seller's broker, and the buyer's broker, how much the buyer's broker is going to get paid from the seller's broker. And for the buyers, if there is something, again, I've said it 20 million times already, you need to put it in the contract if it is a home warranty, transfer of warranty, or so forth and so on. We get calls and emails and questions all the time from agents on all sorts of real estate issues. So please subscribe so that you can get answers to these questions and more. Let me know any questions or any issues you want me to address down below. If you like this video, please click, and I hope you'll like the next video. And thank you guys so much for watching. Dana Sparks, broker of Maximum One Greater Atlanta Realtors, satisfying your needs with service, innovation, and education. This one really was short.